Hello everybody, Crow back again with another pickups video. And actually at the end of this video I'm going to kind of just go over to the Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man machine and just kind of show what I've been working on there too, because there's actually been a lot of pickups involved with that, and we've been working on it, so I guess I kind of just want to show off the current state of the machine. But before I actually get into all of that, I kind of just want to point out this one Kickstarter project that I supported. There's only 11 days left to go on it. I don't think it's going to hit the mark because they're not even a quarter of the way to their goal. But I actually heard about this a couple weeks ago, and I was really late into checking it out, but I had to fund it anyway. And that is this Kickstarter for this Pro Pinball revived and remastered or whatever. And I looked at the video and the pictures on here, and the upgraded. If you're not familiar with Pro Pinball, it was mainly on. I remember it mainly being on like the PlayStation. I think there were PC versions of it too. There were 4 tables. They're planning on completely remastering those, and to make the ultimate pinball game and remaster 4 original classics. Pat Lawler is involved with that, who is a pinball designing legend. So check it out, watch the video, it's really interesting. The new tables look really, really good. You can pledge as little as $1 or so. I think I pledged like $15. It looks really good. I would definitely pick this up if it came out. But I wouldn't need to since I pledged enough to get it. If you're interested in it, check it out. I really don't think it'll hit its goal. Which is kind of sad, but it really does look pretty cool. Let me see if I could find the picture on here. The old version and the new version. Yep. Can I zoom in on this? There we go. Wasting your time. But yeah, they got this picture. That's what the new version would look like. It would look better on your computer if you were just go to link. Put the link in the description for this. But yeah, it really does look amazing. It really does look like plastic pieces on the field. So yeah, it looks really cool. Really don't think they're going to hit gold, but you know what? Who knows? Who knows what can happen in 11 days? Let's do pickups. First of all, I got a bunch of DVDs and Blu-Rays, and actually more DVDs and Blu-Rays than games, so I'm just going to start with those really quick. Now, last week I put up a tag response to Steve Benway's Show Us Your TV, and on my TV I kind of had a certain cartoon playing, and it was kind of a hint at something that I was going to show off in this pickups video. And of course that is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the first season. Bought this at Fry's. I happened to be in the Blu-ray section, and somebody had this sitting at the Blu-ray section, and I'm like, oh, this is, I was kind of interested in it. It came out actually end of last year sometime, and I was looking at it. It's like, it was only $12. I was like, $12 for the first season? That's interesting. Let me go over to the section where this is supposed to be and see if they have any more He-Man. Sure enough, He-Man Season 2, $12. And I'm like, I gotta get these both. Especially since this is the entire series. Now since this was in syndication to begin with, seasons are a little bit different. First season is 65 episodes. Second season is 65 episodes. You can see how thick this box is. So there's actually 8 DVDs in each of these. So at 65 episodes for $12, that is a bargain. And actually, the episodes are on 7 discs each, and I think the 8th disc is a bonus disc. And you're not going to beat that for $12. I've been sitting here for I've had it for a while. I have these for like 2 weeks or something like that. And I've been just kind of plowing through those season 1 episodes. I'm on the 7th disc of season 1 now. And you know what? That cartoon really does hold up well even today. I was expecting it to be all cheesy, and it is kind of cheesy from time to time, but the stories are good. The animation is better than I remember. Now, certain sequences of animations are better than others, but the animations they recycle again and again and again, they're really good. It kind of even reminds me of animation that was in the Heavy Metal movie. I don't remember when that came out, but but it's just, you can tell that they're recycling animations again and again and again, but they're really well done. So there's that. Also, they had this This is the 2002 He-Man series that I never really watched. I've seen part of it. It looked interesting, but I never really watched it. And I figured this is like 35 or 36 episodes too for $12. So I figured, I'm going to pick this up. I was really interested in this, seeing the updated versions of everything. So I had to get this as well. Still see up. I'm not going to watch this till I'm done with seasons 1 and 2 of the original He-Man series. Excuse me, I've been wanting to cough for a while, but I think that finally got what's in my throat. Also, at Fry's that day, picked up this movie on Blu-ray, So I Married an Axe-Murderer. It was $5, and my wife really likes this movie, and it's not bad. I've seen this once before. It's actually, I think, Michael Myers' first full-length movie, while I think he was still in Saturday Night Live. Not bad, got some hokey bits in it, especially when Mike Myers' character is doing a poetry slam, and it happens many times throughout the movie, and it's pretty annoying, but it's got a really good twist at the end of it. I like this movie. I kind of recommend watching this if you could see it for cheap. Also, Walmart. Walmart has their big giant bin of 788 Blu-rays, and I found 2 interesting ones in there. I got Van Helsing, which I think a lot of people panned and didn't like or whatnot, but I kind of liked this movie because it brings together it's like a universal monster mash movie. You got Frankenstein, Dracula, werewolves, Igor, and all that stuff all thrown together in one movie. And I liked it. It's a B-grade movie, and I don't think people were expecting that when it came out, and that's why they gave it a low rating. But I like this movie, Van Helsing 788. Also picked up Office Space, which actually needs no explanation. If you've worked in an office, had an office job, or almost any job in particular, this job, the movie's not a job. This movie can really speak to you. It really does show some of the idiocracies of management and such. Speaking of which, Idiocracy being a movie, I need to get on Blu-ray if I happen to see that one day for cheap. That's a great movie as well, by Mike Judge, the creator of Beavis and Butthead, both of them. Also, I ordered this when it came out, and this is these are DVDs that I've been waiting to come out for years and years and years and years, of a certain TV show that just refused to be released on DVD. Get a Life with Chris Elliott, finally on DVD, the complete series. Now, they've had 2 other DVD releases and VHS releases with 4 episodes on each disc, so it's like 8 episodes total were released on DVD. This is the entire 35 disc or 35 episodes on, like what it says here. Finally, all 35 uncut episodes of the ultimate anti-sitcom on 6 easy-to-eat DVDs. Pretty much sums up what the show is like. This show is the anti-sitcom. It came out, it was like one of Fox's first sitcom shows, and it refused to follow all of the sitcom conventions. In fact, the main character, Chris Elliott's main character in this show, Chris Peterson, dies on several occasions throughout the series. The episode ends where he dies. Gets his head ripped off and played soccer with, falls out of an airplane. Actually, the last episode, he falls out of an airplane. And the whole episode is him falling out of the airplane. And he comes up with the idea, hey, just to give you an idea of the type of humor, comes up with the idea, hey, I know, I'll just flap my arms and see if that works. He starts flapping his arms. He starts flying. He's like, oh, that works. Shortly afterwards, gets shot by Hunter, who mistakes him for a bird. But that doesn't kill him. And, just so many bizarre episodes. Episode where he stalks a girl the entire episode who doesn't want to have anything to do with him. But then he starts getting stalked by another girl who in turn gets stalked by another guy. So it's really weird. There's an episode where he falls in love, gets married, has an affair, gets divorced all in one day. It's just a completely bizarre show. If you haven't seen it, look up clips on YouTube. It's really entertaining. I really enjoy this movie. Not movie, but show. Some people I know absolutely hate the show. My wife hates the show so much. And I laugh at her for hating the show because I put it on and say, hey, look what I'm watching. Anyway. Game-wise, this is the only game I'm not going to be able to show clips from. My wife got this at the dollar store, and actually I wouldn't have bought it. It's SimCity Societies for PC. She actually got this at the dollar store. I heard this. I know that Lazy Game Reviewer Freakin' D did a review of this sometime, and I can't even remember the review, but I heard it wasn't that good. And she got it for me because I kept talking about the Sims, and I kept talking about the new SimCity game that's probably going to be coming out next year. And I'm interested in that. And I kept saying, oh, maybe I'm interested in The Sims 3 to, look at that. And then, I saw that The Sims 3 really hasn't dropped in price at all since it was released. And there's so many expansions for it, it's ridiculous. So I'm just going to wait for SimCity 5 and get that when it comes out. This I don't think I'm ever going to open. It was only $1 though, so, whatever. All right, as for games, real games, oops, I am dropping stuff. Let's see what I got here. I was at Disc Replay for some odd reason. Oh, I was having them buff out a disc. And I was looking around, and I found actually a couple interesting games. I bought Moonsweeper for the Atari 2600. It actually comes with the manual. Although the manual is folded and has some holes punched into it, like somebody put it in a notebook or something like that. But at least it's there. I bought that for $3.99. And if I'm not focusing on it, but whatever. I got it because I didn't have it, and I really hadn't heard much about this game. And I played it a little bit, and it kind of blew me away. I wasn't expecting such an unusual game for the Atari 2600. You start out flying around in outer space, trying to avoid everything, find planets. You hit the planets, you land on them, and you kind of skim the surface, rescuing humans and destroying. You're destroying other enemies that are coming on the ground. The only problem is I haven't quite figured out how to leave the planet once you collected as many humans as you can. I know something appears. I really haven't quite figured it out. I'll probably have to look at the instructions to figure it out. But here's some footage of Moonsweeper on the Atari 2600. Alright, also at Disc Replay, I look and they usually have some Atari 5200 games, but usually they're all 5200 games that I have. So I looked and I saw this, Frogger for the 5200. I looked it up on my phone because I thought I might have had it, and I didn't have it. So I picked it up, and it had the manual as well. Let me slide that out here. Whoops. Got the rubber band cut around the manual. And so we got the manual for Frogger and the game Frogger. Now, here's something I didn't think about until I was just about ready to play this game. Frogger on the 5200 with the 5200 controller. Don't work so good, does it? Here's actually what they wound up doing. Is they made it so when you move in a direction, the frog doesn't jump. You have to hold in the direction and hit the button to jump. So you have to hit the button to actually move while holding in the direction. Not so idea, kind of crap. And in fact, I don't know if you've seen the latest episode of I Hate You on Metal Jesus Rock's channels. Metal Jesus Rock, yeah, his channel. It's episode with All Gen Gamers. He makes them play Frogger on the PS2 with the dance pad. Let me tell you this. If you want a future episode make Frogger even harder, put Frogger on the 5200 and make him play it with the Atari 5200 joystick controller. That is impossible. Now, fortunately, Parker Brothers, who developed this game, I think it's Parker Brothers, they published it at any rate. They knew it wouldn't be ideal. So actually what they did was they have an alternate way to control the frog using the keypad controller. And I didn't realize this until actually I took this game out and I saw the overlays stuck to the back of the cartridge. And that's what's nice about the Atari 5200 and ColecoVision cartridges is that there's indents in the cartridges to hold overlays if a game comes with them. Now, it came with 3 overlays. Why you need 3, I don't know, but it's nice to have extras. these are just cardboard. They're not meant to press buttons underneath them. But basically what it does is it just shows the buttons you need to use to jump. Now, it works better, but it still doesn't work fantastic because the buttons weren't really meant to be used that way, I don't think. They're still kind of mushy. Maybe it's just my controller, but those soft keyboard keys on the Atari 5200 didn't really work that well. Otherwise, the game looks fine, but it's not really a recommended version of Frogger at all. And here's some footage. And finally, the last game I picked up at Disc Replay is a Sega Master System game I did not have. And whenever I see Sega Master System games I don't have, since I have so many of the US collection, my eyes kind of open up a little bit because I'm like, I need that game. And this one is Alex Kidd in High Tech World, or Alex Kidd High Tech World. It doesn't even say it in High Tech World. Now, this game is bizarre because that's not what I thought it would be at all. It's not a platformer. I think part of the game is a platformer, but it's not till near the end of it or middle. I don't know. But here's how the game starts out. You hear about a new arcade that opens in the next town over from your sister or whoever it is that you're talking to. And you want to go. The arcade closes at 5 o'clock. It's now 9 o'clock. There's a map to the next town over that you need. However, it's been divided up into 8 parts and divided up between different places in your mansion or house or wherever you live. And you've got to search the house to find these pieces. Now, it's not action, it's more exploration at this point. Supposedly, once you get the pieces, then you go out and there's action sequences, but I never made it that far. I was getting frustrated with this game because I would die in the most bizarre fashion. First of all, I didn't know. I thought there were ladders in the background, but it turns out they're railings to go downstairs. And one of those railings, I went to go downstairs, and it turns out those stairs were broken. So when I went downstairs, it cut to the screen below me. I fell down the stairs, and game over. What? I gotta start again? Okay, so I start again, and I go, I'm searching around the house, and I find a suit of armor. The game's like, do you want to put on the suit of armor? Yeah, I'll put on the suit of armor. Put on the suit of armor. This armor's too heavy. I can't move. Game over. Okay. And that's when I turned the system off, and I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. I thought I'd be able to play some action stages or something. It says so in the manual. Oh, by the way, yes, the game is in actually really good shape. The manual's kind of crinkled or whatnot, but I got the manual and the game in here. Oh, if I didn't say it was $3.99 as well, so awesome price for this game. Just really bizarre, off the wall, and not at all what I expected from Alex Kidd. So, here's footage. Alright, a couple of weeks ago I went to Goodwill and I found this game. It's Mario Andretti Racing. I didn't have it. They wanted $1.99 for it. So, I got the receipt in there. Did they in fact want $1.99 for it? Yes, $1.99. It doesn't have the manual. It has the warranty card, but no manual. And I played this a little bit. It's actually not a bad game at all. You can either do Indy car racing, stock car racing, or sprint car racing. And once you get it's interesting because they have the split screen effect, and because I guess it's kind of like a Mario-esque kind of split screen where you could have you racing below and your map above, or you could have other views on the screen above, or you can just have it full screen, which actually you could do, but you're missing out on a lot of information if you do that. So I liked having it where you're racing on the bottom and you have the map on the top. So yeah, it's just a racing game. Interesting. I did have real problems with the sprint cars. I'd spin out on every single turn I attempted. But I think I just need to play the game more. But yeah, there you go. It's Mario Andretti Racing. Really not much more to say. Glad to have this in my collection. Here's some footage. Next game my wife found at Five Below for $5. It is Napoleon Dynamite on the PSP. Very bizarre, wacky game. Worth $5, not worth much more. It's just a series of mini games. It says there's 30 mini games, but I only saw 6 off the start. And I only played 3 of them. But they're just, it's really weird. It's got the Photoshop animated effects on it. Make it look weird. I played a couple mini games with Napoleon Dynamite dancing, feeding the llama Tina, and trying to out throw a football with Uncle Rico. Just a hodgepodge of mini games basically. No, it didn't get good reviews when it came out. I doubt it's gonna get good reviews now. There's so much better stuff to play on the PSP. This is just good for a lark, I guess. So, Napoleon Dynamite on the PSP. And finally, the last game. My wife actually saw this game at Toys R Us and didn't buy it. She said, "You mentioned you saw it?" I was like, "Wait a minute, that game's out on the Wii. Next time you go, can you get it for me?" And she had a coupon too. So, coupon. And so I don't remember. I mean, normally this game was like $20. I know she didn't pay that much for it. Back to the Future, the game on the Wii. I know this game came out in downloadable sections, like you could buy episode 1, buy episode 2, buy episode 3, and this is the whole game, all episodes. Pretty much fun. It's like a point and click adventure game for you, for those of you not familiar with them. So it brings back, it's like those well liked point and click adventure games from the 90s, mostly known from like Sierra Online and those LucasArts games, but kind of updates it with 3D graphics and whatnot. And not going to really tell much of what the story is. It's really interesting. Actually, I will say a little bit. It takes place in 1986, 1 year after the original Back to the Future series. Doc has been missing for months, and all I can tell you is, yeah, Doc has been missing for months, and I guess the adventure is to find Doc, at least at first, because that's what I'm doing in the game, at least for the little bit I played for it, trying to find out what happened to Doc. And two downsides about this game on the Wii, though. I installed this on my hard drive using, I have that homebrew thing where I have all the games on the hard drive. The game won't work with it. I could load up the menu, but I think once you select an episode you want to play, it tries to go for the disc, and if the disc isn't in the Wii, it won't run. It took me back to the menu. Also, it seems to access the disc an awfully lot, and when it does that, the game likes to stutter a lot on the Wii. So there's that downside. It's still playable, but I don't think this is the best version of the game. I think that if this game is on, I think it's on PC, that'd probably be the preferable way to play this game, or maybe even PS3 or Xbox Live. I'm not sure. I just got out of the Wii because it was a hard copy. Just maybe the only version of the game you can get is a hard copy, aside from maybe PC. You can get the whole series as a hard copy. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know. I'm just talking. Maybe you can get it on PS3, all episodes, but I just know it's on the Wii, all episodes, and I said get it, and it was really cheap, worth playing, but this probably is the least preferable version of the game to get. Back to the Future.
Rock on, Biff.
Oh, shit.
Doc, where are you?
All right, that pretty much is everything I've picked up. Let's go over to the pinball machine. All right, here's the pinball machine, how it stands now. I've taken off most of the components on this machine, most of the plastics and everything. I've cleaned us up a bit here, just a little bit. I kind of ran a magic eraser over there to get a lot of the dirt off of the table. Certain things need to be repainted. Certain things have been repainted. Most notably, this whole pack maze here has been completely repainted. I've taken all of the little indent things in here, the plastic inserts. I actually have them in a I have them in this case here, because I basically sanded these all down and kind of glossed them up a little bit, made them super flat. A lot of these had a lot of dirt on it. I got rid of the uneven rings around them, so I'll probably just need to just put them back in as they were, flatten them down, glue them in. It'll look really good. My wife has been painting all this stuff. There was a lot of dirt and grime around here and here because there were, the Mylar stuck here. My wife has, when we peeled them off, they were dirty on one side but not the other one. So my wife actually repainted these two. This ghost up here will need to get repainted up here too, because the paint is just coming off here. We're actually just using enamel paints, and then I'll put some wax on top of the field. Yeah, up here, it's still a little bit dirty. My wife will either not paint it or paint it. I don't know. Really not much we could do here except if we repainted the whole thing. But my wife just might repaint some of the characters or whatnot, but leave everything else as is. But it'll look completely, really good once we're done with it. This thing was like filthy here once I took that off. So much dirt. It was amazing. I mentioned that the right flipper wasn't working for moving Pac-Man before. I fixed that like maybe a couple days after I mentioned it. Once I started looking at it, I don't know how well, you probably can't see anything in here, but here's there's like the double leaf switch here. Everything was making connection. The problem was there's actually, you won't be able to see it in there, but there's a resistor connecting the two leaves, and that was actually not connected anymore. So I just soldered it back on, and it started working right away. So the entire machine works as it should be. It just needs some cleaning up. There's actually a fluorescent light in the backboard. I'm going to replace that with some LED rope light. So it doesn't, because what happens is only the center part glares really bad, like in the middle shows up really bright and the sides are dark. So I'll even the playfield a lot more. Also, it'll reduce the glare from the backboard onto the glass, which I've noticed, and it's kind of annoying. Over here on the time machine. If you're wondering about the time machine, I still don't have an update over the boards. I can only assume the guy's still working on them. I might email him later this week asking, hey, I'm wondering what the status on those boards are. I'm in no hurry to get them. That's why I'm just kind of letting it be. And even if I did get them, I wouldn't be able to do anything right now because I got so much crap on top of here. Here are the plastics from the Pac-Man. I've actually cleaned these all off with Novus. And then I've actually, a lot of these pieces were bent, warped a little bit. I've actually flattened them out with a heat gun. Yeah, just a heat gun and some, baking sheets, and I would use the heat gun on some tin on a foil. I put foil on the table. Used the heating gun. Got them all bendy. Kind of put a piece of wax paper on top of there. Put the baking sheet on top of there, and then put a whole bunch of weight over there and waited for them to cool off. So yeah, all of these are really flat now, really clean. These bumpers here, I got them apart and everything. A lot of these little prongs here were broken off of them, and I've glued them back on with Gorilla Super Glue. There's one here that was missing. Let's see if I can find it. I've actually remade it. It's this one. Believe it or not. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. Come on, you. You know you want a good shot of that. I've made that piece myself. Using some baking clay. Glued it on. Looks really good. Fits really tight on where it goes. These things. So yeah, I was wondering how I would do that. My wife suggested this stuff. I wasn't even aware of it. And I actually made my own piece there. Glued it on. And works really fantastic. All of these have been cleaned off. If you're wondering what this is the Pac-Maze light matrix. These are the only lights I won't be able to get LED light replacements for. I've been working on it, kind of experimenting, but I haven't found anything that'll work perfectly as of yet. Part of the reason was because I was trying to measure the voltages, and my multimeter was giving me insane readings, which made me think I was using it wrong. Turned out my multimeter was broken, and I wound up buying a new one. I'll show you over there when I get over there. But yeah, this is what does it say? Pac Light, something like that. Pac Light Matrix. It's this board, and I think these lights are only used in this game. So these lights are pretty rare. I bought 10 spares. Yeah, and here's the glass display underneath the board. I've kind of cleaned that up, kind of made that a little bit brighter. I mean, dark, fixed up some of the black outlines around there. These posts, I cleaned all these, and then I don't know why there was a red one in there, and it kind of annoyed me. So I went online to look at replacements, and I just wound up buying brand new ones for every one of them, because they were like 80 cents each. Just some pieces. This is one of the pieces of Mylar I took off, and it took off a lot of paint. And I was like, I don't care, I'm repainting that anyway. I found this online for $5. It's just an extra one of those, and it was a place I was already ordering stuff from, so I was like, I'll buy that and just have that as a spare. All these flippers, I was going to clean them up. This one flipper here, something happened to the post and they wanted to replace it. The thing is that these are one piece, but they did something and they took a post and put it on here that didn't belong, and they wound up cutting this. So I started looking at replacements. I wound up buying 3 brand new replacements because they were only $6 each. So this is what they're going to look like when they're done. It's supposed to have red flipper rings around so I got brand new flippers for that. The flipper ring kit, these will replace all the rubber rings around there. And again, you already saw these lights that I had fixed. Okay, I'm still recording my audio. Good. I thought I cut off my audio for a second. Yeah, and over here, got lots of just a big mess of stuff that I've been working on. There's some paints my wife's been using. This is the multimeter I was talking about. I bought this at Fry's for $40. Working really good. This is that clay stuff, that sculpt the oven baked clay. That's what I used to fix that prong. Let's see, what do we got here? These are just extra ones that I made with the other ones, just in case. Oh yeah, this is the capacitor. I'm going to replace the NiCad battery with this. What is this exactly? Panasonic Super Capacitor. This will replace the battery. It'll hold the memory a lot better. The problem is with the NiCad batteries they have in these old machines, they will eventually leak at one point, like a battery leaking. But the problem is it could damage the board. So the sooner I get that out of there, the better. These are those extra lights for the Pac-Maze that I bought. Now, I bought 2 of these, so we can ignore this one. These are 2 capacitors I'm going to replace on one of the boards. I can't think of the name of it at the moment. The voltage regulator board or something like that. The capacitor, those are the original capacitors in there. The sooner I replace these, the better. These were like $10 for the 2 of them. So they'll be more efficient than the other ones. They regulate the voltage throughout the machine, so that could cause some wonky things. These are those special fused fuses I needed for that one part of the board. But I could have actually just replaced it, but since I got so many of these fuses, I'm just going to use those. And that's pretty much it. nothing really much else to speak of. I got some cleaning supplies there, and yeah, there's some vinegar, tools, just, and I got some other pieces in that box there. But yeah, this thing's coming out really nicely. Just need, I ordered a couple more things. Like I said, I got those posts coming. I ordered LED lights for everything on this thing. And actually, the original lights being in this machine is what causes those plastic pieces to melt because they generate heat, and if they're on long enough, they could warp those plastic pieces. So, so yeah, that's where I am with this. Hopefully, by the end of this week, I can get some of this stuff back together. I think my wife is going to be painting more of this board this upcoming week. Then I'll just need to wax it down and can start putting things together. So yeah, it's in perfect shape. Physically, the electronics are in not physically, but the electronics are in perfect shape. Not like this one. This one's all ready to go once I get the boards back. This one, all I need to do is put things back together, and it'll be up and functional again, working at 1,000% capacity. It's an awesome game. I get stuck playing it for like 2 hours before I put it. I took it apart. So yeah, just waiting for that, and we'll be good to go. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all next time. Bye.
Sample means flavor.